In my short time on this planet, I've experienced a lot of lessons that I feel a few of you can benefit from. However, today, I'm going to focus on just one lesson that I feel is important to share with you. To always remind yourself, dear self, you are worth it. By show of hands, how many people in this room have experienced being betrayed by someone who you thought was a good friend? Okay, I see some hands in the air. Again, by show of hands, how many have been betrayed by someone who at one point called you family or an actual family member? That's quite a few people. The pain feels somewhat worse when it's family, whether that's chosen family or immediate family, right? Our time this evening isn't going to be spent on a sob story, just a life story. A life story based on betrayal, trust, loss, and finally finding self-worth. But before that, I want to sincerely say I'm sorry that's happened to you. Although I may not have all the answers, I feel like there are ways to screen who to trust. And if we can do that, well, wouldn't that save us a lot of time, heartache, money, peace, and prevent us from being jaded even more than what we are now? Yes, we're all a little bit jaded. I understand that core values can differ from person to person. But a good way to gauge whether a core value of yours is solid is that over time, this belief will not change. Our situations may change, who we are as humans grow and evolve, but a solid core value will always stay the same. Since this is my very first time speaking with most of you, let's do some introductions. I was born in the Philippines and I moved to San Diego, California with my 3 siblings when I was 10 years old. My father left for America when I was in my mom's stomach, so I hadn't met him yet. Fast forward to 10 years after I was born, unbeknownst to me, he decided to petition for my siblings and I to come to the US. One day, I was told we were gonna go bowling, go out for ice cream, and have fun for the evening. I was also very unaware at the age of 10 why people pack suitcases. After bowling and ice cream, I remember my mom crying while hugging me, telling me please take care of myself and my siblings and that she wasn't gonna see me for a very long time. It didn't make sense to me and I did not take her seriously. But sure enough, that day, we flew from the Philippines to San Diego. This moment was an originating wound for me. It deeply affected how I viewed myself and the world. You see, I would have separation anxiety when it came to parting with lovers and friends. I'd be so hurt when someone would not make me a priority. By not being told what was going on until I was about to board that plane, I always worried subconsciously about being abandoned when I wasn't made a priority. And when that happened, I would question my self-worth. Situations of discomfort would feel so painful and debilitating because what I didn't realize is that it was re-triggering the pain I felt as a child when I was left by my mom. When I made the correlation between my mother leaving me and the intense reaction I would have during conflicts with friends and partners, everything made sense. I realized the power that experience had over me as a young child all the way throughout adulthood. Knowing this, I was able to be in better control of my emotions and feelings. I stopped questioning my self-worth, and I knew I didn't deserve to be treated that way. No child did. I lived in California for about 18 years, and then I moved actually here to Palm Harbor to start a business when I was 28. I ran a collection agency for about 2 years and then abruptly decided to go a different direction. I had a good friend that moved with me from San Diego who worked for me at the agency. Her name is Jen. Jen did everything right. She was a good, wholesome, fun, adventurous human who absolutely loved life. She had an infectious, positive energy about her. She worked out every day and ate healthy for the most part. More importantly, she did right by everyone. She would always tell me, too blessed to be stressed whenever she would see me stressing over the business. She played basketball and was the starting point guard for UC Davis women's basketball team for 4 years. She absolutely loved the game. We had that both in common. Jen went back to California after being in Florida for a couple of years. And then one day, she vomited, went to the doctors, and at 26 years young, she found out she had stage 4 breast cancer. It was aggressive, and by the time they had found it, it had spread to her lungs and her brain. She immediately went into chemo, and less than a month later, she lost her battle to cancer. May she continue to rest in love. The world lost an incredible human that day, and so did I. It made me question a lot of things about life. It made me question the direction I was going and where I was investing my time. You see, I was making good money, but my pocket was full, but my heart was empty. So I pivoted and decided to shut down the business. I wanted to follow what I was passionate about, which was helping people. I had lived in Florida for almost 2 years, and the only friends I had made were my coworkers who were my employees. I tried to meet the LGBTQ+ community in Tampa Bay, but it was like looking for a needle in a haystack. See, in San Diego, the LGBTQ community was thriving, but in Palm Harbor, Florida, I could not spot one lesbian to save my life. But something kept me here. I ran smack dab in the middle of St. Petersburg, and it reminded me a lot of San Diego. It was vibrant, artistic-driven community who embraced LGBTQ+ individuals, and I almost felt at home. That's when I founded Project No Labels. Project No Labels' mission is to unite the LGBTQ+ community with our straight allies through giving back and having fun. The idea is that everybody is welcome, and we now focus a lot on mental wellness. We created and participated in hundreds of events and activities since inception in 2015, and needless to say, I met a lot of people very quickly. People wanted to give back and have fun. It was simple. We brought people, good people, together. Little did I know the risk I was taking for my own well-being and my own mental health by putting myself out there so quickly. Fast forward to the end of 2018, I'm driving home from one of our events and I'm hit by a drunk driver on the overpass of 275. My truck was totaled. I was very lucky to have survived it with very little injury. Project No Labels came to a screeching halt. After my car accident, I can count on one hand how many people actually checked on me to make sure I was okay. I knew hundreds, maybe thousands of people who were willing to party with me at the drop of a dime, and all of a sudden, no one was there. To make matters worse, people were spreading rumors about my intentions with the organization. I didn't care to defend myself. I was completely depleted. I knew I did right by everyone to the best of my ability. I decided to evaluate what's important to me based on what would be important to me on my deathbed. Now, let's think about that for a moment. What would be important to you on your deathbed? Would it be materialistic things like cars, houses, money, tangible things? To some of you, yes. But to me, it was my relationships, connections, family, friends, and the legacy I'm leaving behind is what matters. The standards I had before when I knew hundreds of people that wanted to be part of my circle were simply non-existent. I didn't expect from them the things I expected from myself. So, I've said all of this to say this. Whatever standard you hold yourself to, hold the same for your friendships. Don't overlook the red flags simply because they're your friends, simply because they've called you family, simply because they've stuck up for you a few times here and there. Really hold them accountable for their actions and behavior, not because you don't care if you lose them, but because you do care. And you want to make sure you're surrounded not just by random people, but by the right people. That's how you can make it a little bit easier for yourself to trust those around you. More importantly, you can continue to trust yourself that no matter what, you will always make sure to the best of your ability that you're in good hands. Protect your light, especially from those who try to dim it, and always remember, you are worth it. Now, let's end the night by doing something together. I want y'all to repeat after me. Dear self, you are worth it. Let's get a little louder. Dear self, you are worth it. Now, really, really believe it. Dear self, you are worth it. And never forget that. Thank you all and have a good evening.